So today we are going to be talking about Alex Murdaugh, a South Carolina personal injury attorney who was accused of murdering his wife Margaret and his son Paul. Now join me in this video as we go over the timeline of everything that happened as far as the killings and even everything that happened in the court proceedings. And then as always, you guys can go in the comments and give me your thoughts about the case. So let's go down the timeline, starting with June 7th, 2021. On June 7th, 2021, Murdaugh calls 911 at 10:07 p.m. to says he has found the lifeless bodies of Margaret and Paul near the family dog's kennels on their Hunting Lodge estate in rural Islandton County. In the 911 call, he seemed very distraught. Now I'm going to play you a little clip of the 911 call, and you guys can let me know what you think.
911, where's your emergency?
This is Alex Murdaugh at 4147 Moselle Road. I need the police and the ambulance immediately. My wife and child just got badly.
Okay, you said 4147 Moselle Road in Islandton?
Sir?
You said 4147 Moselle Road in Islandton?
Yes, sir. 4147 Moselle Road.
Stay on the line with me, okay? Yes, sir. Stay on the line with me, okay?
Conner County Communications.
Carlton, I have an Alex Murdaugh on the line, caller from 4147 Moselle Road. He's advising that his wife and child was shot.
Shortly after that phone call, authorities have arrived on scene. Now, the lawyers of Murdaugh later proved an alibi, telling news outlets that he had been spending time with his mother, who has dementia, and her caregiver that day, June 10th, 2021. On this day, Murdaugh's father, Randolph Murdaugh III, dies at his home in Hampton County at the age of 81 following various health conditions. His death was not connected to the slayings, but it adds to the growing intrigue in the case. June 14th, 2021. A coroner reveals that Margaret and Paul both suffered multiple gunshot wounds with the estimate time of death between 9 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. September 4th, 2021. Murdaugh is injured in a roadside shooting in Hampton County. Now, his lawyer and his friend Jim Griffin tells news outlets that Murdaugh's black Mercedes-Benz had a flat tire and he pulled his vehicle over when a pickup truck passed by him, turned around, and a person inside started opening fire.
I got a flat tire, and I stopped, and somebody stopped to help me, and when I turned my back, they tried to shoot me.
Oh, okay. Were you shot?
Yes, but I mean, I'm okay.
You shot where? Where were you shot at?
Huh?
Did they actually shoot you or they tried to shoot you?
They shot me, but...
Okay, wait, you need EMS?
Well, I mean, yes, I can't drive.
Okay.
I'm trouble seeing and I'm bleeding a lot.
Where part of your body?
I'm not sure. Somewhere on my head.
Your head?
Somewhere on my head. Somebody just stopped for me, ma'am. For 911.
Okay. Still?
Hey.
Okay, let me speak to him, see if he can tell me exactly where you are.
Where are we talking at you, brother? Right here by this church. That church? I can run up there. Okay. Red Roof. Yeah.
The next day, September 5th, 2021, authorities say Murdaugh's injury is superficial headshot wound, and he had been flown to Memorial Health University Medical Center in Savannah, Georgia for treatment. Following the next day, September 6, 2021, Murdaugh releases a public statement saying he has resigned from his family's law firm to enter rehab, and that he made a lot of decisions that he truly regrets. Hours later, his firm, Peters, Murdaugh, Parker, Elsroth, released its own statement alleging Murdaugh had misappropriated company funds. September 8, 2021. The South Carolina Supreme Court indefinitely suspends Murdaugh's law license. September 14, 2021. Authorities provide new details in the Roadside shooting. They allege that Murdaugh arranged for a man to kill him so that his older son Buster could collect on a $10 million life insurance policy. The man, identified as Curtis Edward Smith, is arrested on charges of assisted suicide, assault and battery of a high aggravated nature, pointing and presenting a firearm, insurance fraud, and conspiracy to commit insurance fraud. September 15, 2021. Murdaugh's attorney has showed that his client was depressed and attempted to get off an opioid addiction that continued to consume him in the wake of his wife and son's death. Believing that his insurance policy had a suicide clause, Murdaugh enlisted a man to kill him during a fake car breakdown. Meanwhile, state investigators announced the opening of a criminal investigation into the death of a longtime Murdaugh housekeeper, Gloria Satterfield. She died in 2018 following what has been described as a trip and fall accident at the family home. The decision is based on the request from the Hampton County coroner and on information gathered during a separate investigation involving Murdaugh. September 16, 2021. Murdaugh surrenders to authorities after he is charged with insurance fraud, conspiracy to commit insurance fraud, and filing a false police report. He is granted bond and a judge orders him to surrender his passport but permits him to return to the drug rehabilitation center. October 14, 2021. Murdaugh is arrested in Florida upon his release from a drug rehab facility. Authorities charge him with 2 felony counts of obtaining property by false pretenses after an investigation into millions of dollars that went missing from a settlement involving the death of Satterfield. According to his heirs, they received none of the proceeds from the $4.3 million settlement they said was orchestrated in secret by Murdaugh. October 19, 2021. A South Carolina judge denies Murdaugh's bond and orders him to undergo a psychiatric evaluation. A month later, November 19, 2021, the state's investigation into Murdaugh's business dealings leads to new indictments announced against him totaling 27 counts, including breach of trust with fraudulent intent, obtaining signature or property by false pretenses, money laundering, computer crimes, and forgery. Altogether, Murdaugh is charged with the respect of alleged schemes to defraud victims and therefore launder nearly $4.9 million. December 9, 2021. The Attorney General announces more charges, including 9 counts of breach of trust with fraudulent intent, 7 counts of computer crimes, 4 counts of money laundering, and 1 count of forgery. In total, Murdaugh faces 48 separate charges. December 13, 2021, a judge sets Murdaugh's bond at $7 million. Murdaugh, who is being held in Richland County Jail, also speaks publicly for the first time in months, telling the court that he had been going through opioid withdrawal in September and he sought to have himself killed. January 21, 2022, a grand jury indicts Murdaugh on 23 new charges, including breach of trust with fraudulent intent and computer crimes. Collectively, he faces 71 charges, including the theft of the $8.5 million over the course of 11 years. January 24, 2022. A legal claim is filed against the estates of Margaret and Paul Murdaugh by the mother of Mallory Beach, who was killed in a boat crash in 2019. The boat was owned by Murdaugh, and investigators have said Paul had been steering at some point during the night of underage drinking involving 6 people on board. The boat slammed into a piling below the bridge, and the passengers aged 18 to 20 were ejected. 2 survivors also joined the Beach family's legal claim in an attempt to get money they believe they are owed as a result of the accident. March 16, 2022. A grand jury indicts Murdaugh on 4 new charges related to a scheme to defraud multiple insurance companies and others involving his friends and another attorney. May 4, 2022. Prosecutors announced that Murdaugh is facing 4 new charges related to the financial crimes, also involving Fleming and others. June 3, 2022. State authorities say that they have received permission from Satterfield's family to exhume her body as part of an investigation into her death. That investigation was the result of questions surrounding why her death certificate noted that the manner of death was ruled natural, which a coroner has said that it was inconsistent with injuries sustained in a trip and fall accident. June 24, 2022. Smith is taken into custody on new charges, including 4 counts of money laundering, 3 counts of forgery, and criminal conspiracy. June 28, 2022. A grand jury indicts Murdaugh and Smith with criminal conspiracy and narcotic offenses. Smith is also indicted on other drug charges. The men are accused of conspiring to purchase and distribute oxycodone from October 7, 2013 to September 7, 2021. July 13, 2022, the South Carolina Supreme Court formally disbars Murdaugh, who faces 84 criminal charges and 11 lawsuits. July 14, 2022, a grand jury announces an indictment against Murdaugh and double murder charges in the deaths of Margaret and Paul. Now, 2 sources close to the investigation say that authorities have cell phone video that they believe not only puts Murdaugh at the scene of the slayings shortly before they took place, but also contradicts a previous timeline of events provided on the day of the killings.
He says this was the most crucial piece of evidence.
Hey, he's got a bird in his mouth!
The kennel video that placed Murdaugh at the scene minutes before the murders. Murdaugh admitted on the stand that it was in fact his voice, despite earlier denials that he was there.
July 20th, 2022, Murdaugh pleads not guilty to the murder charges. August 19, 2022, a grand jury indicts Murdaugh on 9 more criminal counts related to money laundering and computer crimes. The indictment alleges Murdaugh stole money from his firm in late 2020 and 2021, and that in 2017 and 2018 he took advantage of an error by the firm's accounting office, which sent $121,000 to him for a loan repayment when that money should have gone to his brother. Murdaugh's brother Randy is also a partner in the firm. He has not been implemented in any of the alleged schemes. October 13, 2022, the Attorney General's office sets Murdaugh's trial date on the murder charges for January 23rd at the Islandton County Courthouse. December 9, 2022. Now, during the pretrial hearing, state prosecutors claimed that Murdaugh killed his wife and son to gain sympathy and escape the accountability for his string of financial crimes. Murdaugh's lawyers reject the state's motive and question why he would shift a financial investigation away from himself only to put himself in the middle of a murder investigation. December 16, 2022, a grand jury indicts Murdaugh on 9 counts of tax evasion, alleging he failed to pay almost $487,000 in state income taxes while making nearly $14 million over 9 years. With the latest indictment, the total financial related charges against Murdaugh are more than 100. December 20th, 2022. State prosecutors announced that they will seek life in prison without parole in Murdaugh's double murder trial, allowing him to avoid the death penalty if convicted. January 23, 2023, the double murder trial against Murdaugh opens at the Islandton County Courthouse with jury selection. January 25, 2023, in an opening statement, state prosecutors contend Murdaugh killed his wife and son at close range with a shotgun and an AR-style rifle, and that forensic evidence would show his culpability. Now, Murdaugh's defense in its opening statement insists that there are numerous holes in the prosecution's case, claiming it is built on theories and conjectures. February 1st, 2023, prosecutors play a previously unseen video taken from the phone of Paul Murdaugh, in which 3 voices can be heard in the background shortly before the murders occur. Now, witnesses testify that the voices are of Alex, Paul, and Margaret, which places him at the scene of the crime and undermines his alibi that he had not seen his wife or son in the moments before their death. February 23rd, 2023, during the 5th week of the trial, Murdaugh takes the stand in his own defense. He testifies that he did not shoot his wife or son and breaks down multiple times as his attorney asks him to describe the murder scene. February 24th, 2023, Murdaugh is on the stand again. During cross-examination, the prosecutor grills him on his new story, arguing that his earlier testimony was fabricated to align with their video evidence that he saw his wife and son minutes before they were found dead. Murdaugh contends he lied to law enforcement officers about his location before the murders due to his addiction to prescription pain pills and his general paranoia. February 28, 2003, Murdaugh's younger brother John Marvin Murdaugh took the stand as the defense team's last witness. John recounted how he cleaned up the remains of his nephew's body at the crime scene, telling jurors it was the hardest thing he ever had to do. March 1st, 2023, jurors visit the crime scene. After testimony concluded at the trial, jurors took a visit to the home where Maggie and Paul were murdered. Per the New York Times, jurors spent around an hour on the property examining the areas where the crimes took place. March 2nd, 2023, Alex Murdaugh is found guilty of murdering his wife and his son. After deliberating for less than 3 hours, jurors found Murdaugh guilty of the murders of his wife Maggie and his son Paul. The defendant very slightly rocked his head back and forth as the guilty verdicts were read. March 3rd, 2023, Alex Murdaugh is sentenced to 2 life sentences in prison. As you can see, this case is a mess. Alex Murdaugh is definitely guilty in my opinion, and I'm glad he's behind bars for the rest of his life. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on this case. If you have any case you want me to cover next, whether it's in the past or a case that's currently going on, let me know in the comments and I'll look into it and try to get more content out for you guys. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to sub if you enjoyed it.